The story comes out earlier, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN, who talked about how Antonio Brown has filed a grievance with the NFL, has threatened to not play. He will retire if he doesn't get to use his old helmet that he's been using his entire career. The Raiders have tried to send him several helmets, different models for him to try. He doesn't want any part of them. He said it obstructs his vision, the way these new helmets slide down. So he is threatening no longer playing in the NFL if he doesn't get his way. Mike Silver of the NFL Network is also reporting that Antonio Brown tried to sneak in by spray painting or painting up his old helmet. He's done it a couple of times to where he's tried to sneak it in. They've had to remove him from practice at one point. So you add this onto his melting feet and everything else going on in Napa Valley, and HBO's got themselves a hell of an episode 2 on Hard Knocks.
And it's amazing because he won't be there for anything, because the other report today is that no one can get a hold of him. Apparently, he can get a hold of the NFL. Yeah. He just has Roger Goodell on line 1, but the other, what was it, radio silent, no one has heard from him.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
He's unbelievable. I will defend him on this, though. I get that it's 2019, we got to worry about safety and helmets and concussion protocol. Can we just let the man wear the helmet that he wants to wear? Like, it's not a leather helmet. He's not Jim Thorpe here. Like I don't know. To me, it just feels like one of those. It's a very simple solution. NFL, make him sign some waiver that protects you legally. Let the man wear one helmet. So, that way he doesn't have to get the spray paint, and he doesn't have to, go behind the bleachers and do the spray paint thing. I don't know. To me, just feels like a non-story.
I actually agree with you on this. I know Robert Guerra, our executive producer, he loves when his hosts agree, so I plan on agreeing with Aaron Torres as much as possible. Go. Screw you to Behind the Glass, Robert Guerra, our executive producer. No hot takes here, buddy. But I will say this in all seriousness. If his helmet isn't hurting somebody else, to your point, who cares? I mean, it's not like these stories you hear from high school football, and you know this, playing high school football, covering college football. You hear these horror stories about guys, carving their buckles into sharp points, so when somebody goes to tackle them, they cut up their hands. There's stories like that have been out there. If Antonio Brown's not doing that, and he is willing to sign a waiver, and he wants to play with what is considered an outdated helmet, and he's okay with it, hey, man, do what you got to do. It's your career. NFL players have said for the longest time, we don't care so much about the head stuff. We just don't want our knees taken out. So if this is a situation where he's okay with the ramifications of what may occur, not a fact or a guarantee of what may occur, let him play with whatever he wants to play, and then we just see how everything folds and unfolds during the regular season. Yeah,
and it was funny because when I saw this story, what I thought, first of all, Antonio Brown just, he is Hard Knocks in and of himself. The cameras just need to be following him. But also, this reminds me of, this is a super obscure rule, and I'm going to talk a little hockey. I'm guessing maybe the first time hockey's ever been discussed on the Odd Couple. And don't worry, we're not breaking.
It'll make sense. Don't turn the channel.
Yes.
We swear to God.
We're not talking like Red Wings blue line here. But I know nothing about hockey, but I do know this, is that there was a time when hockey players did not wear helmets on the ice. Go to YouTube, Gordie Howe's playing until he's 55, and he's taking pucks off the head and just doing Gordie Howe things, right? And then at some point, somebody in the NHL office was like, yeah, this is not a great idea to just have these guys skating around taking pucks off the face. And so obviously now guys all wear helmets, they wear the face shield, etc. But they grandfathered it in where anybody that had been in the league that didn't want to wear a helmet didn't have to once the new rules were put into place. Anybody that came into the league at that point had to wear the new helmets. I don't understand why this has to be a public back and forth thing, and it sounds like if Antonio Brown's filing grievances, it's going to get uglier before it gets better. Just say, dude, if you're an old school guy, you want to wear your old school helmet, you've been in the league for 7, 8, 9 years like Antonio Brown has, that's fine. Everybody, you're a rookie, you're coming in from now, and you just got to wear what we tell you.
And Craig McTavish, by the way.
That was a guy.
Craig McTavish.
I wasn't going to drop the name, but since you know it, yeah.
Little Craig McTavish. Nothing like a little mid-90s hockey talk in the middle of August, huh, Aaron Torres? That's what we do here.
Whose best years were in the 70s, but it's okay. Yeah. We're really hitting the demographic hard right now.
Don't worry. We are going to have an all Craig McTavish hour here on Fox Sports Radio. That's coming up on August the 33rd. You can find that all Craig McTavish hour here. Nothing but NHL coming up on August the 33rd. But that being said, The reason, and you know the NFL, this is what the NFL does with everything. They overreact to PR and public backlash. It's what they do.
Oh, yeah.
They did it with the anthem stuff. They did it with the safety stuff. They did it with the domestic violence issues that they've had in the league. The NFL overreacts to things. And so because of that, the NFL overreacted to this, and instead of just saying, hey, if you're okay with it, we're okay with it, they took such a beating from all the guys having issues following their careers, the guys dealing with head trauma following their careers, that they're not letting anybody away with being able to sign a waiver or anything like that. You've got to play by our rules, and that's just the way it's got to be. I don't necessarily agree. I think players are smart enough now to understand the risks.
Sure.
All right. If you complain nowadays that you gained a little bit of weight because you ate a bunch of fast food, then you're just an idiot. There's nothing I can do for you. You're an idiot. You're a moron. Stop complaining. You read what's on the back of those boxes. You know the calorie intake. You know everything that's involved. If you haven't gotten the clue yet that it's not good for you to eat fast food 8 days a week, then that's a you problem. The NFL has overreacted to many things in the league, and this feels like them really putting their foot down because they don't want to have to deal with any more of the guy dealt with long-term issues after playing, so on and so forth. It's why the kickoff is so weird. Yeah. It's why they've made some of the targeting rules the way that they are. It feels like Antonio Brown's going to have to just deal with the fact that this is what the league is mandating, and if you want your $30 million guaranteed, deal with it and go play football.
Yeah, the analogy that our buddy Colin Cowherd always uses is, you start smoking cigarettes in 2019, you have nobody to blame but yourself. And it's the same with the NFL. So here's the thing, right? Sometimes in sports, there are stories where there are, in theory, two sides, but there's just no win for one side, right? So like I'm like the story that came out the other day, Dabo Swinney, Kelly Bryant, I'm not giving him a championship ring. There's really no public win for Dabo Swinney to just say he's not giving him a championship ring. And I feel like it's kind of the same way with the NFL. Like, what is the win here? Wow, Antonio Brown, we showed him. He's wearing the helmet. He can't see. He's not as exciting. He's not as good anymore, and he's complaining the whole time, and he's sitting out of training camp, and he's filing grievances. Just let the man wear the helmet. It doesn't seem that complicated to me.
Yeah, now, a conspiracy theory that I threw out there.
Okay.
Look, this probably isn't the greatest conspiracy theory, but you know what? It's a Friday,
sure.
News Dump Friday. This is when you dump all your bad conspiracy theories. Little radio tip for everybody listening here on Fox Sports Radio. I think that HBO took such a beating from the national media and so many people all over the world over the final season of Game of Thrones that I think HBO fixed up Antonio Brown's feet, and they have turned this helmet issue into a bigger issue to get more people to watch the second episode of Hard Knocks. That's what I think.
And they made sure he landed on the Raiders, too.
That's
unbelievable.
Yeah, HBO's behind all of it.
So is like Bigfoot going to walk through camp on the next episode, too?
Listen, you never know. Crazy things could happen. The Loch Ness Monster could pop out of a wine vineyard. Like, a lot of things could happen at Raiders training camp in Napa on Hard Knocks. I'm just saying, man.
It would be kind of amazing if... because, again, the other story about Antonio Brown, and this just makes it more fun because of the circus that is Antonio Brown no matter where he goes, whether it's Facebook Live and all those things that happen.
Throwing furniture off a balcony.
Yeah, he's doing Antonio Brown things. It would be amazing if the Raiders can't get a hold of this guy, which has been the report, but the Hard Knocks cameras just know exactly where he is at all times.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be willing to go that far. I just think this is... kind of what I'm saying is this is kind of the MO with Antonio Brown. You get him, you get a lot of production on Sundays, and you got to get a lot of headaches Monday through Saturday, and I think this is the latest one.
Look, feed a shark. Don't come crying to me if you have half an arm afterwards. Like if a shark bites your head off and you were swimming underwater with him, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. That's just the way it goes sometimes.